Hey, what's up everybody? It's John here. I just wanted to talk really briefly about the 960 grid. It's something that I discovered about a year ago, and it seems to be really embraced right now by the design community. I know a lot of major sites are using 960. I'm seeing a lot of WordPress themes be based off 960, and even a hot new little shopping cart that's come out called Open Cart, which I'm a big fan of, uses 960. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the 960 grid and some of the advantages and disadvantages. Definitely, it's a great framework. I know there's a lot of other ones like the 1K grid and you know um, Blueprint's another big one, and there's a lot of others, but I like 960 because it seems to be slim. It does what it needs to do, and it does it very well. It's standardized and flexible. Um, One advantage, which is probably one of the biggest reasons that people seem to be using it, is um, it's a size and a width that really makes sense right now in design. 960 pixels is pretty much middle of the road. You can go 1200 or you can go 8 or 700, I guess, if you wanted to, but that's pretty much where everybody's at as far as resolutions and desktops and most laptops even now, because of higher resolution. So that another definite pro is the fact that they do a lot of IE testing. So of course, us web designers, we hate IE because it's made us hate it pretty much. But they do the testing for IE for us, so that when we design a site, we may have to tweak certain things, a social icon or something, but at least the whole interface doesn't break like it would, if we had a bug, doing it yourself. So, if you're making themes, whatever you are doing, HTML, whether it's Drupal or Joomla or WordPress, you're going to save a lot of time, and time is money, so when it comes down to it, we want to be creative. Some people hate that kind of constraint, but I think it's overall just really a good thing. You don't have to use it, that's not right for every project, but for a lot of projects, and definitely for building themes, I think it's very useful. I started out just using it for the PSD file, because I was like, it's really cool. You can snap to the grid, and it'll help lay everything out. But then I would just do all the CSS, cut it and splice it and put it together myself. And then one day I dove into the code, and I was like, wow, this is really nice. So I'd love to hear what you guys' solutions are. One other thing to think about is, I know when you're doing a full screen layout and you've got your main content area and your background that are exactly the same color, it works great because you can kind of just build your interface with just the constraint of the 960. But if you actually have your user interface boxed in, and you have a background image, and then you've got a center color that's different, then by default 960 only gives you 10 pixels on either side, which I like to have a little more breathing room, a little more white space than that. I like about 30 pixels. So I don't know what you guys have, if you guys have run into that same issue, or if you've come up with a better solution. But one thing that I've just started doing is I put a div, and I just call it wrapper, and I make it 1000 pixels. So then I subtract from that 20 pixels on each side for padding, and then I let the 960 grid do the other 10, because it puts 10 outside of it. So because it's really it's really 940, because it does 10 pixels on either side to become 960. So that gives you 30 pixels on either side of your interface if you're doing a boxed in layout, which seems to work out really well. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Praise or rants, leave them below. Thanks so much.